Hey, Matt. How are you doing?
Hey, good. How are you?
Good.
Cool, yeah, I was wondering if you wanted to tell me that psychic story so I could record it. Remember how I told you I was wanted to record that?
Oh, that's right. Okay. Yeah, I could do that. You want to do that now?
Yeah, if that works for you.
Okay, sure. Well, it's a long time ago. Your dad and I had been married for maybe about a year or two, so I must have been about 28, something like that, and lived in San Francisco. And I can't remember how it happened, but somebody told me about a psychic, and I'm not really into that kind of stuff, and wasn't then, I'm not now. In San Francisco in those days, that was, there was a lot of new agey stuff going on, and I guess it's something you have to do once, maybe. So I went, and then at some point she said something like, "You've been a man for the last 13 lifetimes." And I thought, oh yeah, give me a break. And then she kind of got on a roll, and she said, "You should have a child. You should have a boy." As if I could order that. And I said, well, not kind of really, that's not the plan. I'm really not interested in having kids. And she goes, well, your husband, it'd be good for your husband. That you should do this. And, so I thought it was amusing. It was a little annoying, too, that she's, kind of bossing me around. And I said, oh, okay, well, thanks. And she said, your husband will die when your son is 13. And I said, well, that does not sound real good. Again, I wasn't taking this real seriously. And she said, no, it'll be fine. And I said, well, that doesn't sound fine. And she said, no, it will. It'll be fine. I just thought it was the oddest thing in the world. Kind of gave me the creeps, but it was also just seemed absurd. So, there was no plan to have kids. I did not want to have kids, not an interest of mine. And when I was closer to 40, out of the blue, I felt sick, and I felt very sick. And within a week, I was kind of semi-conscious with a severe case of pneumonia in the hospital, and I actually thought that I could die. And I thought, if I live, I want to live differently, and I want a family, or at least a child. Obviously, I lived. I sold my business, and that was, the plan was you. When we did decide to have kids, and I found out I was pregnant, I remember saying to your dad, well, you better quit smoking. Remember what that psychic said? And he goes, yeah. And then right before your 13th birthday, I said, better be careful. Remember what that psychic said. And, I guess I felt a little uneasy, and he seemed to just think it was humorous. On January 31st, which was 2 weeks after your 13th birthday, your dad was on his annual golf trip with his golfing buddies in Arizona, and I got a phone call that he had had a cardiac arrest. He had died. And it was probably the worst day of my life, probably yours as well. When all of this horrible period when your dad unexpectedly died, just an absolute nightmare, just horrible with a child. But one thing that made me actually was some consolation was remember that she said, yeah, your husband will die. The son's father will die when he's 13, but it'll be all right. Like cheerfully. And like she really believed it. And there's something about her saying that has come back to me over and over again, that, that it's all right.
So do you think she was right?
It doesn't feel all okay. You're okay. You're a wonderful, healthy, well-adjusted, decent human being. But it still doesn't seem like it's all okay for a 13-year-old to lose their father. But in any event, hearing her say that, or in my memory, remembering her saying that, even though I don't believe in psychics, it has over the years made me feel better.